Hello, and thanks for joining me today. The state pension is a right, and it's not a handout. In recent years, debates about welfare and pensions have become increasingly polarised. They're becoming increasingly more frequent. Some argue that pensioners are sponges. They argue that pensioners have never had it so good. We're on loads of money, and so on and so forth. They're stitching us up. That is the younger ones. We're never going to get anything, and you're whinging about your pensions. That type of story, narrative. And it goes on. And I've had some, if you like, abuse for it myself. But, you know, in my eyes, the kids, and they don't understand. So I forgive them. But this narrative, we all know it isn't accurate. But it's deeply unfair to a group of pensioners who have worked all their lives and contributed and earned their state pension over decades. And I think it's crucial, critical even, to separate the state pension from other forms of welfare, such as unemployment, sickness benefit and so on. And we've got to recognise that this is a unique nature of this entitlement. And it is an entitlement. And challenge the misconceptions that fuel these negative perceptions. Because I don't want anybody thinking that I am ripping them off. Anybody. The state pension is lumped together with other benefits under the umbrella of welfare spending, leading to this erroneous belief that it's a form of government charity. However, the state pension, as we know, is fundamentally different. It's a contributory system funded by national insurance contributions made over a person's working life. Unlike means-tested benefits, which are allocated based on a financial need, the state pension is earned through years of work and contributions. To qualify for a full state pension, individuals must have contributed at least 35 years. For those who have worked longer, sometimes 40, 50 or more years. Their pensions, my pension, isn't a gift, but a repayment of what we've already paid into the system. It is, in essence, a deferred income, a contract between the state and its citizens that guarantees financial support in retirement after decades of hard work. Now, the pensioners, or the idea that a pensioner has never had it so good, is a sweeping generalisation that ignores the diverse realities of older people's lives. While some retirees may enjoy financial security, a significant number make ends meet, and they struggle to make ends meet. Pensioners face unique financial challenges, including rising energy bills, healthcare costs and housing expenses. Many lived on fixed incomes, making it difficult to cope with inflation. And according to Age UK, nearly 2 million pensioners live in poverty, and many more are on the brink, particularly as costs for essentials like heating and food continue to rise. A modest state pension, even supplemented by the small private savings that some people may have, often falls short of covering basic needs. And then governments frequently highlight the fact that pensioners are living longer as a justification for raising the state pension age or cutting pension benefits. While it's true that life expectancy has increased, this narrative often feels more like a criticism than a celebration. Pensioners are implicitly made to feel guilty for living longer, as though their very existence is a strain on public resources. This framing is insulting to all those who have spent decades contributing to a system and deserve a dignified retirement, regardless of how long they live. Additionally, longevity statistics often fail to account for disparities in health and quality of life. Many pensioners living longer are also dealing with declining health and higher costs for care, making the idea of longer lives more than a challenge than a benefit. Wealth disparities amongst pensioners are stark. While some may own their own homes or have substantial private pensions, many worked in low-paid jobs with little opportunities to save. These individuals rely mostly on state pension, which provides a basic income, but not much more. Pensioners have spent decades paying into the system through taxes and national insurance. These contributions were made with the understanding that they would be entitled to a state pension in retirement. To suggest anything else, scroungers, well-offs or whatever, right, discards the fact that they have earned their pensions through years of hard work. The state pension is part of a social contract. Today's working age population funds the pension retirees, with the expectation that future generations will do the same for them. Far from being a drain on society, pensioners played their part in supporting earlier generations and continue to contribute through spending, volunteering for example, and childcare, especially for the grandkids. The scrounger sort of type stereotype often pits pensioners against younger generations, creating unnecessary division. In reality, the challenges facing younger workers, such as rising house prices and stagnant wages, are a result of systemic issues. They're not the fault of the retiree. Governments and policymakers should address these challenges without scapegoating pensioners. Now, in my opinion, a separate categorisation would emphasise that a state pension is not a means-tested benefit, but an earned entitlement. This would reinforce the idea that pensions are receiving what they've paid for, not relying on government handouts. Currently, the conflation of pensioners with other welfare spending creates confusion and misrepresentation. A clear distinction would make it easier for people to understand that the state pension's purpose and value. By clearly separating state pension from welfare, governments can address other forms of inequality, such as access to housing or education for younger generations, without fueling resentment or division between age groups. The state pension is a cornerstone of the UK's social contract. It's providing financial security in those who have worked and contributed throughout their lives. To label pensioners as anything other than pensioners, or even to suggest they've never had it so good, is not only inaccurate, but it's deeply unfair. By separating the state pension from other welfare benefits, we can reinforce this unique status as an earned entitlement and reduce the stigma often attached to it. Pensioners are not a burden to society. They're its foundation, having spent decades building the world we live in today. The narrative that pensioners are living longer should not be used to justify cuts or guilt, but rather as a testament to the success of a modern healthcare and society. It's time to recognise these contributions and ensure that everyone can enjoy a dignified retirement. Take care. Bye now.